Hey agents, this is Luis Moreno with Insurance Agent Training. All right, man, we've got some news came out a couple of days ago. I finally have had some time to interpret it. It is another change coming to us, which I did predict. Okay, I remember I had that crystal ball a couple of months ago when Trump 2.0 was elected, what I thought he was going to do to ACA. Well, guess what? It is happening. And so let's jump right into it. Guys, but please don't forget, please comment, like, and subscribe. All right, let's take a look. Man, all right. So here's what is happening, guys. So we all got this email that is an important update regarding an SEP, a special election. And this is a special election that got a little bit abused, just like normal, what agents do. And this SEP election now is requiring us to verify that it is a valid election. So what is the election, Luis? Come on. All right. So loss of coverage. When you utilize loss of coverage, whether it happened in the past or it's going to happen in the future, you are going to have to verify. So let's read exactly what happens. So we are reaching out to notify you that pre-enrollment verification, pre-enrollment, this is not a let me enroll you and you have a policy in force and then it gives you a time frame to upload the documents. No, no, no. This is pre-enrollment, which means you're not going to be able to utilize the plan until this SEP is validated. All right. So to notify you that pre-enrollment verification for marketplace loss of minimum essential coverage will begin next Friday, May 16th, 2025. How will this impact my clients? Well, if your client attests to having experienced or anticipates a loss of coverage and they become eligible for this SEP, and their systems, the marketplace systems, are unable to automatically verify this loss. I don't know how they're going to automatically do it, but if they're unable to automatically verify it, your client will need to provide documentation confirming the loss or anticipated loss of coverage before they can use their plan. An SEP period verification issue, an SVI, another acronym we're going to have to deal with, is triggered once the plan is selected and manual verification is needed for the loss of MEC manually, which means that a client is going to have to verify it. I'm sorry, not a client, an agent or a representative at the marketplace. Your client will have 30 days to submit the acceptable documentation to resolve this SVI. If it is not resolved within that 30-day period, your client will not be able to use their health coverage. Man, oh man. All right, so let's figure this thing out. So what are we going to be able to do? So if you do have the documentation, the easiest way, you don't want to snail mail this thing. You're going to want to upload it through your HealthSherpa app that you're utilizing. Okay. Now, what documents will be accepted? All right, so let's get into here. So you click on that link and it takes you here. So submitting documents to confirm your loss of coverage. All right, what documents can I submit? Now, this is the one that we utilize. So here's kind of, let's go back a little bit, guys. So we had Trump in office, loss of coverage. We had to submit letters of credible coverage. And I'm sure we're going to have all those other ones. So what the client had to do is call their insurance company and say, hey, I need a letter of credible coverage. Now, after a while, at the beginning, it was a pain in the butt to get it. It would take weeks sometimes. Well, once they figured out that they were going to have to provide this, these carriers started providing them like instant. They're like, okay, Mr. Insured, what's your email? Boom. By the end of the phone call, they would have this letter of credible coverage. That letter of credible coverage would state who was insured or the carrier, policy number, I think the effective date, the end date, and who was insured. And that's what you would submit. Okay. Now, Biden came into office. They said, you know what? We don't need that documentation. All right, rock and roll. Just if you want to, we're not going to make the client prove it. We're going to take their word for it. All right, great, rock and roll. Okay, so now back to Trump 2.0, back in the game, we're going to have to verify this thing. So let's go back to this. So a letter of credible coverage from the insurance company on official letterhead or stationery. It will include a letter or premium bill from your former insurance company that shows you and your dependents' cancellation termination from the plan. A decertification letter from your carrier stating when coverage will no longer be offered. Okay, so there you go. A letter from your employer. So your employer on their letterhead or stationery can confirm one of these about you, your spouse, or your other family members, your dependents, that your employer dropped or will be dropping coverage, that your employer stopped or will stop contributing to your cost of coverage, that your employer changed or will change coverage or benefits, and your coverage will no longer be considered qualifying health coverage. In other words, it doesn't mean the minimum essential coverage. A letter about COBRA coverage, like a letter from an employer or health insurance company that confirms that your employer's offer of COBRA coverage, along with the date this coverage would start. Your COBRA coverage ended or will end, or your employer stopped or will stop contributing to the cost of coverages. When? Oh, geez. And when? A healthcare program document. So maybe a letter from a government program, TRICARE, VA, Peace Corps, Medicare, showing that you lost your coverage. Also, the state Medicaid or CHIP letter saying that your eligibility for Medicare or CHIP was denied. Right now, we just go in there and say, hey, it's denied. Not anymore, guys. Now we're going to have to prove it. A dated copy of your DD-214, that's your discharge papers. Okay. A letter if you lost your student health coverage. You can also submit any of these documents in the list below. However, these documents may include only some of the information we need to confirm. So most likely you will need to submit more than one of these documents. So pay stubs, if you lost employer coverage, you can submit 2 pay stubs from the past 1 to 3 months. If a reduction in work hours caused you to lose your coverage, you can submit 1 previous pay that shows that you worked 30 hours or more, and then another one that you worked 30 hours or less. Okay. Document showing you lost coverage because of a divorce, legal separation, custody agreement, or an annulment within 60 days of submitting your app. Document showing you lost coverage due to the death of a family member. Okay, what if I'm in a plan that ended before the end of the calendar year? If you're losing or lost coverage from a non-calendar year plan, you can submit a dated and signed copy of written verification from an insurance agent or dated letter from your insurance company stating when your coverage ends. Now, what happens if you don't have any of these forms? Okay, well, you can submit a letter explaining that the coverage you had, why and when you lost it or will lose it, and the reason that you can't provide the documents. Use this form and fill out the loss of coverage section. When you complete the form, select letter of explanation from the drop-down menu when you are uploading them. So let's see what this form looks like. And there it is, guys. So they're going to have to fill this out. All right. You heard it from me. Okay, not the first one to probably let you guys know. You probably have been seeing it on social media. It's out there. But yeah, that's the way it is, guys. Trump doesn't like Obamacare. We know this, okay? So he is going to make it tougher. I'm also hearing some chatter, if you haven't heard about other news, is Aetna CVS is pulling out of the market in 2026. Okay, I'm also have heard some chatter about a shortened enrollment period. Okay, I don't know if that right now is 100%. Let me see here. Nope, as far as I know, I'm looking at my info, negative. Nope, that's not the case. So I'm hearing that it's going to happen. It just hasn't happened yet. All right, guys. Again, thank you. This is Luis Moreno, Insurance Agent Training. If you click on the description below, guys, I will put this information in there for you. Okay. So I'll put the form that you have to fill out, and I'll make PDFs of all of this for you and stick it in there for you guys. But remember this, guys. Okay. I think I know where I was going. He doesn't like it, guys. So he's going to do everything that he can to minimize the growth of Obamacare. It is what it is. Okay. At least he's not trying to demolish it like he did in Trump 1.0. So what else I have? Oh, the description down below. Guys, do me a favor. I have some things down there for you guys. Okay. Number one, I have my ACA 101 course. Okay. Want to learn how to sell ACA? Boom. Take a look at that. That's the same program, the same curriculum that I use to train my own agents. Okay. Secondly, if you don't have a CRM, guys, you should be using Agent CRM. 100% you should be using Agent CRM. Okay. It is a communicator. Okay. It is, and there's a lot of automations. Use my link, guys. When you use my link, here's what happens. You get everything that they create, all the branding bundles and support, plus you get what I have created at the agency level for ACA, Medicare, dental and vision, life insurance, auto, and home. All right. I've also got my smart books. These are manuals, guys. These are huge. Okay. I mean, you're a newer agent. There's a lot of data in there. Sometimes you got to go hunt for it. Well, I put it all for you inside a smart book that I update every year. So go take advantage of this thing. It's the ACA and Medicare Smart Book. And then finally, question I get asked from agents all the time, Luis, where are you getting all your clients from? Okay, wrote over 1,800 of them. Where? Well, I'll tell you where I'm getting them from. I'm getting them because we're doing a lot of advertising on social media. All right, we learned by Shauna, who is a partner or someone that I've partnered up with. She provides a course to teach you how to advertise on social media. So go look at her course, guys. And I contribute to her course, and then I share once those leads are created, then I show how they're automatically imported into Agent CRM and some workflows that happen to those leads so that you can get a hold of them immediately and also improve your close ratio. All right, Luis Moreno, Insurance Agent Training. Thank you, guys.